All right, guys, very good morning to you once again. You're welcome right back to Breakfast Connect on Africa Business Radio. It is Monday, and you know Monday comes with a whole lot of interesting and packed stuff for you. Plus, you also get to learn a whole lot of stuff, and then we'll have some of the most insightful conversations. Rachel, how you feeling?
I feel great. It's Monday morning, and you can't feel any less. The week has to go good, and for it to go good, you have to start on a very good note. So
it starts with a lot of the stuff that you do on a Monday.
So yes, it's time for our guest segment this morning, and we're talking about female participation in tech. Despite a lot of national conversations about gender diversity in tech, women are still underrepresented in the tech industry.
Right.
I mean, we've had statistics from various facets of IT work, ranging from higher education to workplace environment, and it all paints a clear picture of the challenges that women face, in finding equal footing in career in IT.
Right.
I mean, throughout last month, we talked to a couple of women in IT in tech, and they gave us their view. Well, on the show today, we'll be having someone joining us to talk about this issue. We'll be having Elisha Ukpong. He's the Chief Executive Officer at Vestpay. Hello, Elisha. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So, I mean, you've been in the tech space for as long as I can remember. Just for background now, how did tech become so male dominated? Say from when you started until now.
I would say tech has been male dominated and it's been systematic. Earlier on when I came in tech, I didn't believe in a gender bias. What I believed was, the male folks are daring, they move towards what they want to, and they get it done. But over time, I had to do a little bit of study into this, and I realized that tech is actually male dominating, and it's been systematic. If you do a little bit of study on your own, you would realize that earlier on, tech was a female-dominated industry. The females were doing everything. We have the Ada Lovelace, the Grace Hopper, and other ladies. It was totally female-dominated. But when I think the UK or the Britain realized the essence of tech, some guys, I think two guys. Hold on, let me grab the name. William Cannon and Dallas Perry.
Okay.
On hiring for tech, which supported a lot of male folks. Okay, so let's say an industry that is heavily dominated by women, hiring process for 1,400 personnel, and you hired 1,200 male. And then you're saying that this is the way to go for heights. So it was. I feel there is a big divide in the tech space with respect to gender, and it's not even something that it's something that has been there. So people systematically pushed out or grew a bias towards men, favoring the male folks to the female. It's so systematic that you might not actually pick it up until you probably take it up and do a little bit of research on it. How did we go from females dominating more than 50% to male dominating more than 50%?
So
when we have all these you can.
So you're saying there was a time when we actually had more women in tech than men?
Yes, there was.
Oh, okay. Go on, please.
Yeah, there was, but that changed. That changed between the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 2000s. So I believe there was a properly planned, systematic approach towards phasing out women in the tech industry. When they had to, at a point they had to, call the female roles redundant, retire some of them, just so they can replace. I think it was properly planned back then. So most of us that came in to tech now, over the past, let's say 5, 10, 15 years, might not even know what happened. But like what I said earlier, you need to do a little bit of study, go back in time to understand this background. Yes. So when you hear someone say something like there's a divide in tech right now, or there's a gender bias, you won't understand. You even know what it is, because what you feel is you came in with a set of ladies that dropped off along the line. You don't know why they dropped off. You just felt it wasn't. They were not made for this. like tech back then, I feel was more tedious. Like planning missiles, there was a lot of calculations, programming on papers, and that's a lot of mental power. That's a lot of brain power, patience, and diligence. And if the female folks were dominating as at then, you know what that means. They had this in them, but over time, systematically, we've been able to face it out. You know, when someone is into tech, they're like, you're a man, you have more dexterity, you're brave, you can push for. No, women also have this all these qualities too. Another thing is when you're looking at the tech sphere now, those are like the top guys, it's basically male. So imagine when you're moving into tech and you can't even find a female there, it plays back on you like, what am I in the right place? You know, it's systematic and it's cultural. It's something we grew into. Like most time you don't even know this is happening, but it actually. When we see all these women in tech coming on, this for women, this for women, at the point of like, I think it's too much. Why are we focusing so much energy on the ladies? Are we not going to face out the guys because of this, you know? But over time, getting to study, talk with people, you know, I even have a particular lady that also doesn't believe that there's a bias in tech.
Oh wow.
A lady. So yes, she's like, I don't want you to treat me different. You know, treat me the way you're treating the guys. There is no bias for me. What I want is what I go for. People hold a lot of different thoughts. So I had to sit down, pick ideas from a lot of people and gather, do my own research. That's when I realized that actually there is a bias. And I also feel we're trying, but we are not doing enough. For all what we are doing now, we are not doing enough. We need to be more inclusive with the female gender. It also doesn't mean that we, you know, have this particular we don't end up creating a bias for the male folks too.
Interesting. So we had women dominating at one time, and then the men took over. And now we're trying to find a balance. Now let's talk about balance.
Yeah, we're trying to find a balance.
Now let's talk about balance as it concerns funding. I stumbled upon a particular statistics which shows that only 1 in 4 startups have a male founder. Right, that's a study from Silicon Valley. And to make matters worse, startups with at least 1 female founder reported more difficulty in finding funding. I was going to ask you if you already mentioned that it's a cultural thing. So obviously the fact that women actually dominated at one point is a clear indication that it has nothing to do with competence. You agree, right?
Yes, I agree. It has nothing to do with competence.
All right.
Great. Okay, so moving on, there's something that has been bothering me, and I thought I would just ask you to share your opinion as an expert. Maybe you would help us make sense of it, because for me, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Obviously, tech is one sector with incredibly huge potential for revenue generation in Nigeria. I mean, we've seen what tech startups have done recently in Nigeria. We've seen the buyouts, we've seen the payoffs, and, you know, a lot more can happen if these guys had more support. So what do you think are some of the reasons the government hasn't fully taken advantage of this? And then in what ways do you think the government can better support the budding tech system in Nigeria? Because, I mean, we're focusing on oil and everything else, agriculture, which is fine, but tech is there that could be like a catalyst, you know, for turning our fortune around as a country. Just now, we've not even scratched 5% or even the surface of the potential of tech, and look at what's happening already. So why do you think the government hasn't taken advantage of this fully? And then what are the things they can do to support the tech industry better?
Okay, being someone that is not in the government, I wouldn't say why they actually are not taking part of this. But from an outsider's point of view, or from a citizen's point of view, I would say you can't really heavily utilize something you don't understand. So I think there are a lot of talent we have in the tech sphere in Nigeria that has not even been utilized.
Absolutely.
You know, I need to sit down and understand a particular thing before I can know how can I, you know, make use of this thing, get some dividends from this thing. No, Nigeria is exporting a whole lot of massive talent, really, really good talent. I have a friend that is working for Spotify. I have a friend that is working for Dropbox, Google. I
even know somebody who works for TikTok. I have a friend who works for TikTok.
Yeah, so we are exporting a lot of great, massive tech talent, but in-house, if you take a look at any Nigerian government website or application, it doesn't even, if you want to use that to define the amount of the quality of talent we have, it will be really it will be poor. To be poor. So government should, focus more in-house on what we have. Basically, most times funding could help. To have most of these startup bootstrap faster. Coming, we have the Yaba Tech, where there's a lot of businesses in Lagos that are budding, and Vestpay is even operating from Lagos. So there are a lot of things happening, but I can't really say why the government is turning a blind eye towards it. There's a lot of revenue to be made from the tech industry. It's just cultivated and properly harnessed.
So are you going to tell us what moves you think the government should make? What specific moves they should be making? Because
I think that there's even like an annual budget for tech, and then we seem to be moving towards, in quotes, digitization and all that stuff. We're trying to go digital with everything else. So I feel like the government knows, but why they're not doing these practical things? I don't get it. So, in your opinion, what would you advise if you were to say, okay, these are top 2 or top 3 things the government could do to encourage the budding tech sector? What would you advise?
Okay, so I would probably point out 2. What I feel, in my own opinion, is government should do is make it easy for budding startups to have access to funding, pre-seed funding. Recently, a friend of mine kickstarted a startup, but he almost felt folded up because of lack of access to capital. Funding. We even kickstart. Really nice idea. I felt wowed by it. Some other people were excellent. Like, this is excellent. This idea would work. The same model is already working in Kenya. It's working in Ghana. It's going to work here. But lack of access to funding was a big deal for him. But luckily, we were able to run around and raise something. Right now, it's running really fast. The revenue it's generating is impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, so another one should be regulations, laws that would better startups. Like, there should be a little bit of policies that help these startups grow faster. I can't really say for the government what they can do. I know they have a lot of minds that can think up.
Yes.
But let's have policies where some policies need to be relaxed to help these guys run up faster. It should be where there should be policies that help them. Let's grow an inclusive space. Just like we're saying, let's have an inclusive space for the gender that has been biased. Let's also have inclusive space for these small startups that are trying to find their footing. Good ways would help us have more innovation spring out inside and not keep exporting our talents to help other worlds build up what they have.
Right. Fantastic. And then again, they need to really understand it, right? As you mentioned earlier, they need to understand it to implement all of these policies at the end of the day.
Okay, right. So before Rachel gets into some more conversation about Vestpay in particular, I just want to ask you which you think the role of educators and parents are in all of this, in encouraging more people to go into tech. Like you rightly said, sometimes we don't understand that this thing is systematic and it's conditioning, and it starts from the cradle, and then it's not even just about whether parents are encouraging their boys or their girls to go into tech. Sometimes parents don't even encourage their children because they don't really understand it, especially in this part of the world. So for them, it's either you're a doctor or a lawyer or maybe something else that's super mainstream, very professional. So a lot of them still don't, or just an engineer. They don't know about tech specifically and the potential, especially with new software and the advent of technology and everything, and social media and everything else. So what role do you think educators and parents can play in just grooming more people to enter the tech industry, so we have a more vibrant tech industry?
Okay, I'll have to relate this back to being systematic. From back in the day, what was in vogue was people going to school.
Right.
When you go to school, you're better off than the person going off to learn a skill.
A trade, yeah, right.
And it migrated from just going to school to studying all these professional courses, being a lawyer, being a medical doctor, being an engineer. This was like the core thing. Everybody wants their children to be that. Then it migrated from that now to, let's say, technology. But we already have this knowledge or this understanding, cultural bias towards tech sphere, that everybody that's into technology or is into, has a laptop or has a cell phone is into cybercrime.
Exactly.
There's a cultural mentality. So any parent would not want their child to be into cybercrimes.
True.
Okay. Even when I started out, my dad didn't really know what I was doing. All he knew was, I believe my son, I have properly brought you up, so you shouldn't mess up. But whatever it is you're doing, that you find peace and do it. At the point, it was like, I think you should actually leave this in and go find a job. You get, but I had to sit him down one day and explain, this is this, this is that, I have a job here, this is my boss, this is what we do. You get, so I feel it's just something that is going to be systematic till we can phase out this ideology about technology, because it's deep rooted, deep seated. But educators, schools are also going to help. But most of the time, the people teaching in these schools are our parents that are not also enlightened.
Right.
So how it's going to be a little bit of tough, but I'm sure it's something we can scale through. Like we can start teaching these people or running a program that reorients the mind of the society about this. There's a lot of opportunities in the tech sphere, and most of them do not really require you to go to school or have a degree. That's the best part. You can get a job by just sitting at home, taking courses, learning. You don't need a school degree. In a way, you can get a job and better yourself, and even raise the funds to go to a formal education system to get the degree. Yeah, so it's really lucrative. It's inclusive for everybody, no matter the background you're from. So I think we just need to run a reorientation course or program for the whole public, so they can understand that tech is actually a big deal. And not everybody that is into tech or has a laptop that is also into cybercrimes. And internships are actually also helping. I really love to mention the HNG internship run by Marketing of Hotels.ng. That was also a really big push for me. I went there. I see the quality of training they're doing. It's really impressive and massive. So if anybody is willing or wants to join up on an internship, I'll really recommend that without second thoughts.
Great.
Fantastic.
Great. Winston, this is really a systemic problem.
And it's eye-opening. I like this.
Let me tell you something. A friend of mine is running a code club, an after-school code club, primary school children. And guess what? 90% of parents that brought their children brought their boy child. So we had just like very few girls, and the rest were just boys. Because I think they feel subconsciously that this is just a guy
Elisha
thing.
Said, yes, it's
so we need that orientation. You get?
To tackle that.
The decline in female interest in this tech thing also goes back to the point where male toys with computers. So they were also selling the male computers as male toys to the guys, boys, and also this thing has a way of dealing with our subconscious.
Yes.
This is for the guys. I can't go there. So it's really systematic, basically.
And they leave Barbies for girls. Come on,
Barbie dolls and stuff.
Exactly. Barbie, makeup, dressing up and all.
Right.
Oh my God. All right, so let's talk about Vestpay now. Yeah, Vestpay is a budding fintech company with an interest in providing risk-free investment opportunities in the agri and real estate industry. Tell us about your most recent evolution.
Okay, so Vestpay, if you're aware, I'm sure you are, there've been a lot of investment opportunities flying in the air.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So what Vestpay is coming in to do is we're coming to provide you risk-free investment opportunities. Now, what we invest in, one question you should ask yourself before you take part in any investment opportunity is, what is their product? What are they selling? You can't tell me I'm investing in something and I can't see what I'm investing in. So for us here, we run a line of poultry. We're into the poultry industry. We have our hatchery, our breeder farm, the processing plants and everything. So the product we're selling here is poultry. Your money is invested into the poultry line, and when we finish selling, we now realize our gains. From there, we pay you ROI. And then we're also in the real estate industry, which the land is the product. When you're purchasing a land here, it's there, so it can't go away. It appreciates over time. That's where the dividends we make from this product is what we share. I'm sure you're familiar with profit sharing. So your ROI is gotten from the profit we make after selling our product. So Vestpay here, it also comes to inculcate the savings culture, because if you're looking to make wealth, you should make money and also save money. If you're making money and spending it out, you would end up still with nothing. So while we're helping you make wealth for yourself, we also inculcate the culture of savings into you. So with Vestpay, you can save, you can pay for your utility bills, you can take part in risk-free invest. I would have said 100% risk-free, but that would be a lot of bold claims. So let me say 99% risk-free.
Right.
Yeah, we've been running for more than 2 years now. We have a parent company, funds that has been running for more than 3 years.
Wow.
We've never missed out on any of our payouts, and it's been a nice journey so far in the investment industry. We've taken a lot of our investors on tours. We have a massive facility here in Port Harcourt. The first operational base is in Lagos. We had to move from Port Harcourt to Lagos, so it's really big, and I'm really happy about what we are looking to bring out to the public. Which I would love to give you a teaser here, but I'll just hold on that.
Right.
There are a lot of investment platforms out there. So what's the security of users like on Vestpay? Of users' funds now? Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we actually do not have direct access to your money, to your funds.
Okay.
So we have a partnership with one of the major banks in Nigeria, Access Bank. So they act like our financiers. They're the one that in charge, like they custody your funds. We only have access to these funds when we are, executing our plans. So like I said, we have a product. So your security is in what are these guys doing with my money? The chicken we sell, is there the facilities we have on ground? Is it the land? And we also have a financing body that also, checkmate our activities. So having this partnership with Access Bank should give our investors, these guys are working with a trusted brand. Access Bank has been around for a long time, and they are deeply interested in what we do. So, like I said earlier, the facilities we have on ground, the products we have also to give you a security. Like I have what I see my money doing. My money is working for me. Not in the air, it's not stuck in something or that. Like I can literally come to our plant. We have a massive processing plant over here, see what your money is doing. So we are even insured by 2 insurance companies, Leeway and Nike.
Nice.
Great. Yeah. You guys seem to have all loose ends. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of plants on ground to block anything that any adverse situation. We've totally thought that out and come up with strategies to handle any of that should it come up. But so far in our 3 years plus of running, we've never had any issues or hitch in our service delivery so far.
Amazing.
Wow. I don't think I've heard of anything so meticulously thought out. Like you guys have done this. That's so commendable. But you also mentioned something really important, loans. And I know that's one that will catch the ears of everybody else. How can users access the loans available on the platforms?
Okay, so the loans on our platform, it's going to take a different shape from the conventional loans people are already known for. So we're looking at coming into the educational sector. So loan for studies, you can call it student loans.
Student loans, so okay, great.
Yes. So we have the guardians come on our platform, apply for the loan where they get to, pay for the fees of their student. Now, we are not looking to work directly with the guardians or the students. We don't want a situation where, a student dwindles the guardian and takes money or something. We work directly with the schools. So we are going to have partnership with schools. So anybody that's interested in the loan for that particular school, we work with the school. So we take care of these fees directly with the school. There is no third party, it's us and the school.
Nice.
With your consent, you now take a part in our spread out loan repayment scheme. You could even use our investments and ROIs to pay us back. Like we're trying to make education really seamless because we believe that an educated mind is a stronghold and a really great asset for the country. This way we can reduce the number of students we have out of school, people that had to drop out because of financial constraints and all of that.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic
This is real
stuff.
good. Really, it's not what you hear on the regular. I'm really, really impressed. So we've been speaking with the CEO of Vestpay. That's the person of Elisha Ukpong. We've been talking about female participation in the tech industry, and yes, he has told us a lot, and he has talked about Vestpay as well,
and the phenomenal things that Vestpay is doing. I really love this, man. Great conversation, insightful conversation, and I have to say, well done to you guys. This will go a long way to not just, shape the tech sector, but also do a lot for Nigerians at large. I mean, look at the student loan option. That's a fantastic stuff. And then I like how you guys are very innovative. That's something that makes you stand out too. So that's absolutely amazing stuff. Just
before I let you go now, how can people get across to you? Your platform now.
Okay, I'm accessible via Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Okay.
So my handle on Twitter is @drumsminister. Facebook is Elisha Ukpong, and LinkedIn is the same. So in case you're wondering, you might be wondering like, why Drum Minister? Okay, that was the nickname I got while I was on the internship, and I liked it so much. I just have to stick
right.
with it for not probably thinking if I'm going to let it go, but I like it so far.
Nice. How about Vestpay now? I want to get onto the Vestpay platform. How do I go about it online?
Their website, a handle, or email?
Okay, our website is www.vestpay.ng. You can get us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook, Vestpay NG.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you so much for making our time to do this with us again. I'm hoping that we'll have further conversations, and I do hope that you make yourself available. Thank you, Ukpong, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, then.